I was told that we were having issues with C3, which is basically vocabulary. So this says the word adjacent, and we are talking about angle AEB. So angle AEB goes from A to E to B. Remember, E is in the middle, so that is going to be the vertex. We want something that's adjacent, and adjacent means next to or touching. So it needs to either have BE as one of the sides, or it needs to have AE as one of the sides. So it's either going to be angle AED. That would be adjacent to this. That's this angle. Or it would be the angle on the other side, angle BEC. And then I'm also going to have to watch out to make sure they didn't switch the letters around on me. So remember, AED is the same as DEA, and then BEC is the same as CEB. The first and the last letter can switch. What matters is that the vertex is always in the middle. So we are looking for one of these four for our answer. Here's BEC right up first. So that's what we're looking for, was one of these four answers. Complementary. Complementary means that it adds to 90 degrees. We're going to be looking at this for two angles that add to 90 degrees. It told me that I am looking at angle AFB. AFB. And I'm going to need the other angle that makes that 90 degrees. So we've got four sets of perpendicular lines. If this one is, or two sets of perpendicular lines, four right angles. So this is a right angle, which means this is a right angle, which means this is a right angle, which means that these two have to add to be a right angle. So we are looking for the other angle here, which is going to be this angle. So this angle would be CFB, which could also be written as BFC. So we are looking for whichever one of those answers is there, and there is BFC. So once again, we're just making sure we know our vocabulary words, and then we're looking at what they are. Let's go ahead and look at this one. This is like the one we just did, but I don't have to name it, which I think makes it a little bit easier. So we want what is congruent to angle 1. Congruent, the only thing that we know is congruent is vertical angles, which are the angles across from each other. So if I have two angles that intersect, if they get wider, the ones across from them are wider. If they get smaller, the ones across from each other are smaller. So this angle is going to always be equal to this angle because they get bigger or smaller at the same time. So those are called vertical angles, and they are congruent to each other. So we are looking for the one that's going to be opposite number 1. So the one that is opposite that would be angle 4 because it's across from it, aka vertical. Adjacent means next to. So this is like the first one that I showed you. We're looking at AGC, AGC. So now I need an angle that has the side GC or an angle that has the side AG. And I'm going to go ahead and write that one down. I have that picture copied down, and we are looking at AGC. And we want something that is next to it. So the easiest thing to do is, I know that it either has to have GC or it has to have GA. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these and see which one has GA or GC. That one doesn't have either one. This has GA. This doesn't have either one. This doesn't have either one. So the only option that has one of the sides from this angle is the one that either has GA or GC. This is the only one that has one of those, so that has to be my answer. Same type of thing. Let's skip a level and make sure we know what's going on. So angles are adjacent, still means next to. That means that I really don't have to worry about the other intersection. Okay? So HDE, if it doesn't have HD or DE, can't be adjacent. Doesn't have HD or DE, that can't be the answer. GD and DH, these don't even have the same vertex, so there's no chance of them being adjacent angles. Sorry. BE and EC, we have AE and EB, but EB and BE are the same thing. So this one is adjacent. And then let's glance at this last one to make sure. Once again, these don't have the same vertex, which means one of them is down here and one of them is over here, so they can't touch each other. Same type of thing. Supplementary means that they are going to make a line or add to 180 degrees. So we're looking for something like 7 and 8 that make a linear pair. So we're looking at 8 and 9. 8 and 9 are not next to each other. 1 and 2 do make a line. 1 and 2 would be supplementary angles. So that would be our correct answer. Adjacent means next to each other. We've gone through a bunch of those. First thing I need to do is make sure they have the same vertex. Those do, those do, those do not, can't be my answer. Those do not, cannot be my answer. So it's either A or B. So let's see, this has GC and this one has GC. So this one could be adjacent. These do not have any of the same letters besides E, so it will not have one of the sides the same, which means that it cannot be the answer. I'm pretty sure that that's it. We've talked about vertical angles already. That means they're going to be across from each other. Let's go ahead and do this one. Once again, if they don't have the same vertex, they can't be vertical angles. So this one does have the same vertex. Possible. Not possible. Not possible. Not possible. Only one that even made sense was the first one. And then I need to check that they were across from each other. So E, B, G is this angle. F, B, C is this angle. So these two angles are across from each other, making them vertical angles. Okay, that's all the stuff that's in this one. Hope that helped you out with C3.